Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Starin Town Hall. Today, we are excited to have our special guests from Barco join us. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey
We
there.
also decided to give our normal host, Mr. Bobby Swartz, a break today. So I'll be filling his role. Ask anything, I'll agree to it, and we'll say Bobby approved it. That's how I roll. I'm Melissa Dillman, Learning Experience Manager at Starin. I'm also thrilled to have a very special co-host and moderator, Mr. Chris Netto. Hello, my friend.
How are you? How's everything?
Great. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Getting
Thank you.
ready. Looking forward to this wonderful town hall. We get to ask a little questions. I get to put some heat on these guys, see what they can answer in rapid fire succession. But the answers that I'm looking for is hopefully what the audience is willing to really want. So I'm ready to go. And let's start by.
Oh, wait a minute, Chris. We're not quite done yet.
I'm so excited, though, Melissa.
I know you are, but we're going to cool you down for just a second. We got to give everybody the rules of the road.
All right.
So don't forget, you can give Chris questions to ask to our friends in the Q&A button. It should be located at the bottom of your Zoom screen under Q&A. As you may be aware, Starin is a longtime friend and partner with Barco. We helped launch the Clickshare during its early days, and now we're pleased to be offering the revolutionary Usbc video wall. If you haven't seen it, this is a completely new way of approaching video walls. And we are excited to say that we have them in stock in inventory in Indiana. So if you have a job, no worries about long delays for shipping. We have them ready to go. So don't forget to put your questions in the Q&A at the bottom. With that said, I'm going to ask Mr. Monty Bennett to introduce himself. Hello, sir.
Hello. Thank you for the intro. For those of you that don't know me, I am Monty Bennett, Director of Distribution for Barco. Been with Barco since the early days of Clickshare. Came on board back in early 2013, whenever Clickshare only had one model, the old CSC1. So I've seen Clickshare through the entire progression of products, and then a few years ago, kind of moved over into handling distribution, and I've seen it go. Seen distribution grow with Barco, taking projectors successfully on, taking Usbc and KVDB, our new video wall offerings on as well, and continuing to grow.
Monty, I don't want to say you've been around forever, but you've been at Barco for a minute.
I've been here. Yep, exactly.
Long
enough.
If anyone has a question, Monty has an answer, and if not, he'll make it up, right?
I will make it up. I am good. I'm good at making it up.
And joining Monty, we have Paul Regensburg. Was I close?
Yes, you were right on. Perfect.
Woo! Paul, introduce yourself to the family.
Right. So hello, everybody. Paul Regensburg here. I'm a channel account manager, and I work for that guy, Monty Bennett. And I'm just coming up on my first year at Barco, but I've been in.
And he hit his mute. Yeah, the mute button.
I think his headset gave up on him.
It could be, but now he's back.
It could be. No, he is having headset difficulties. All right, Monty, do we still have you? You're good, right?
I'm still here.
Anybody
Awesome.
hear me?
There you go.
There I go. Okay, so real quick, I'll do 20 seconds. Paul Regensburg, channel account manager. I work for that guy, Monty Bennett. I'm coming up on a year at Barco here, so very excited to be on the call. And I've been in our industry here for about 26 years. So happy to be with everybody today. And thanks, Melissa and Chris, for having us.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, Paul. Glad we got the bug worked out. We're good to go. So, Mr. Netto, I'm going to try to bring a slide deck up, and I will let you start with the conversation.
Sure. Let's start with with a couple of questions that I have regarding oh, wow. All my notes just went to the side as that came up. Let's start by talking about the Clickshare, right? Been around 5 years. You guys celebrated that. Going on 6 years. You celebrated a birthday last year at the Barco booth. So going into year 6, am I correct in saying that, Paul and Monty?
Yes, right, Monty? Yes, sir.
We're on to year 6.
Mm-hmm.
New models have come out, right? Can you please give me a little bit of information or a bit of an intro into the 200 plus, which has now, basically taking it stands next to the 200. So please tell me a little bit about the 200 plus.
Sure. So Monty, if you don't mind, I'll jump in there. So the 200 plus is similar to the 200, but the 200 plus, the really special features are 4K out. And it also has touch capabilities. So for those of you that use a touchscreen monitor, we can connect up to that, and you can now control from the front of the room by touching the screen instead of going back to your PC and controlling it that way. And it also has an input as well. So if you have a conference room or meeting room that has a PC, that PC can always be plugged in there. Then when somebody would come in the room, they can take one of our easy-to-use buttons, plug it in the USB, and then that computer would get knocked off the screen, and then the presenter would be on that. So that's brand new, and it just started shipping a couple of months ago, I think. We'll be showing that at Infocom, and so far we've been getting some just really, really good feedback about that product. So those are the specialties with that. A little bigger physical-wise dimensions, but same great ease of use, and works all the time.
Sounds good. Monty, the question for you will be, as far as the 200 goes, the 200 does not go away. It does have a home next to the 200 plus. Is that not correct?
That's correct. Yeah. The existing models we've had out for a couple of years now, the CS100, the CSE 200, and the CSE 800 are still in the lineup, not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. So the 200 plus kind of now sits between the 800, which has been your flagship, bigger model, and the 200. Has there been any updates to the 800, or is the 800 still, the box with more horsepower essentially?
Exactly. I mean, the 800 from a features and a functionality standpoint, the 800 is really unchanged. Mm-hmm. It's still there to do what you need to do in all of your largest boardrooms, conference room spaces, with dual 4K outputs, with dual HDMI inputs. The touchscreen interaction side of it that Paul mentioned on the 200 plus is also there on the 800. So yeah, the 800 is still there for sure.
Sounds good. And Paul, now that the 800, if I get this correctly, basically lined up correctly, you have the 800, you have the 200 plus, you have the 200, and then you go to the 100, mm-hmm. and then you have the huddle, correct? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tell me about this new idea that you guys have, which is buttonless, from the company who invented the button. So Tell me a little bit about that.
So that's right. Buttonless, right? You would connect on your network, and then you can use that, connect to that. But you can also use a button with that if you like. But one thing that I wanted to mention, which is really important, is we have a download app for the Clickshare, which would sit down in your tray on your PC. And as soon as you walk into a room with a Clickshare, that also, it identifies what Clickshares are around, and you can simply just go and click to that and log on, and now you're presenting your screen. So two new features, the CS Huddle, the 100 Huddle without a button, but you could use a button again, and then we have this new desktop app that's a free download that you can install on your PC and use that.
So now you have a downloadable app onto your PC,
right?
Which is basically now doing auto detection. Monty, in your best way of explaining it, how does that work? You walk in, what happens to your PC? Do you have to plug stuff in? This lives now on your desktop. Can you give us a little bit of
absolutely
an education on what this is?
So the Clickshare app, free downloadable application. Either you can personally download to your laptop if you have admin rights. If you're part of an enterprise, of a company of some sort, you probably have to get it kind of worked through your IT staff to get it pulled down and then pushed out to everybody's laptop. But the Clickshare app, like you mentioned, it has like an auto detection through a proximity function in it. It's able to detect Clickshares within range. Okay, and once you put the Clickshare models in, and like Paul was mentioning, the 100 Huddle doesn't come with a button at all. So it's literally the CS100 just without a button. It's for applications where internal company users are going to be using Clickshare, and they're going to be using it primarily with the app. Okay, so whenever you have the app installed on your laptop, it operates, it's down your system tray. You walk into a room, it'll tell you that Clickshares are available. You pop up a menu. You can select which Clickshare you want to join the session. You do have the ability to actually set the Clickshares up where there is a security code on screen to make sure that you're in the right room before you're sharing content. That is an option. We don't require it, but it is an option that's there for you.
Yeah, adding that layer of security is an important feature.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. In some cases, you don't want to show your content to the wrong room by accident, so that security feature is there. But the beauty here with the app is that now for your power users who are in the same rooms day in and day out, and they don't want to worry about, well, I need to hey, can you pass me a button? We've got 10 people in this room. There's only 4 buttons in here. There's only 2 buttons in here. Can you pass me a button when you get done? Everyone can have the app. Everyone can just be ready to share at literally a moment's notice. Yeah. So very simple and easy. The beauty is the fact that this is Clickshare your way. You want to share from an app? Share from an app. You want to share from a button? Share from a button.
Awesome.
You make the decision. You share your content the way you want to.
So, though you're trying, the buttonless solution, Clickshare your way, as you put it, kind of sounds like an advertisement for a burger joint that I know. Have it your way. Anyway, but let's not forget, it's still about the button. For a lot of people, they still may not know or may have missed the announcement, I guess, that there are USB-C buttons available.
Absolutely.
And that is still a side accessory to the Clickshare, correct?
Right. Yep. So the every Clickshare model except for the 100 huddle still comes with the conventional USB-A style, the square rectangular USB connector on it.
I don't want you to be like all, putting on your Swami hat and getting all crystal ball-y and predicting the future here, but can you tell me, will the USB-C at some point start making its way into the packages?
If anything probably happens in the future, it'll be the fact that you buy the Clickshare base unit that you want, and then you buy the buttons you want.
Well, if you're going to have it your way, you might as well select what you want in that package anyway.
There you go. Because we have run into situations where there have been some small deployments, and literally every company laptop in that enterprise is a Microsoft Surface tablet, for example, which is nothing but USB-C, right? So they present the question of, what do I do with all these conventional buttons? Well, now your answer can be, you can utilize the CS100, which has the majority of the normal features you need, and buy USB-C buttons instead.
Awesome. So that has been addressed. Inquiring minds still want to know even more. So I'm going to try to hit you with a curveball. Tell me about your XMS management server.
Paul, you want to take a stab at that one? You want me to?
Yeah, well, let me just start by saying it's a plug-and-play server for really central management of the Clickshare and our other WePresent devices. So you can have, I'll give you the speeds and feeds real quick. You can have up to 500 devices on one of these boxes. It is available at Starin right now. And as far as more technical, Monty, I'll hand it over to you to get a little more technical with the piece.
Well, you took the good parts for sure.
Right.
So for a long time, for years now, we've had the Clickshare Management Suite, or CMGS as we've known it internally, that has been a Linux-based program. It's been a free download. You have to just put it on a server somewhere in your network, somewhere in your system, and connect all the Clickshares to the same network. That platform has worked well. We have evolved that now into the XMS Edge platform. The XMS Edge is going to connect to the Barco cloud. So think about the platform connecting to the cloud, as well as all the Clickshares in the network connecting to the cloud. And the reason for that is because coming soon, we're going to have the ability to do a lot of analytics on usage of systems. How many hours of the day are they being used? How many shares happened per meeting? Were people connected from a button or from an app, for example? We'll never show who shared or the kind of content that was shared, but we're just trying to make it more ROI centric, so that customers and companies can understand that this is a device that's in my meeting rooms. It's being used. It's being utilized. Should I, do I have enough Do I have enough of them in the right kind of rooms and so forth? Now the
Real-time monitoring, right,
Absolutely.
Monty? Real-time monitoring.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about. So
now the XMS Edge is literally the software platform. Okay. The XMS 110 is the hardware part of it. So for those customers out there who want to put in their own server, who want to load it with the XMS Edge software and manage that themselves, they can do so. Still a free download. It's there for you.
And it's a dedicated box that sits in a server room, for example, and runs your analytics.
Yep. Now the XMS 110 in particular, that is a Barco sold through Starin. That's a server that we sell as an individual part number. It's already pre-configured, preloaded with the software, ready to go. So you literally take it, stick it in a rack somewhere, plug it into the network. All the Clickshares are on the network. It does auto discovery. You can go through and make sure everything's named right for it, and it's up and running. So very simple and easy. It's a list price $2,500 investment. If you're doing 10 or dozens of Clickshares in a building, I mean, if you want to manage, your firmware updates remotely, your reboots remotely, all the analytics I mentioned, this is a no-brainer. It should be in every deployment.
Man, I a former technology manager that I am or was, I understand the benefits of analytics. It's what's basically going to allow for you to fund additional spaces if you have the numbers. In the corporate world, analytics is your way to get funding. Yeah. And without it, it's kind of hard. So I'm glad to see that Barco's gone down that road and, taking it one step further with an actual server box, which allows for the monitoring and sort of stuff. So that's great to hear. And the XMS is something that we do have. And I'm glad you guys were able to give us a little bit on that. But now that we've moved past wireless displays, let's get to the displays. That's what everybody wants to hear.
Sure.
You guys came out. I know intimately how much we came out with the Unicy last year. Unicy came out and made a lot of noise. It was a very product that changed a lot of people's perception of video walls because of the bezel-less setup. I'm not going to escape by the fact that there were a little bit of a delay for them to getting out, but now the problems have been resolved. I know that Starin has them in-house. Unicy is there up, what's the latest on Unicy, the information that you guys can share?
Well, Monty, can I jump in here and then, if you don't mind? So Unicy is, Chris, and everybody in the audience, very, very unique product, and we'll update you on everything. But I've been around displays a long time, so just to tell you that, in our industry, video walls used to be a separate category from digital signage, and I think everything is kind of mushed together today as digital signage. So the Unicy, to stay with the U, is very unique. And just a quick overview before I hand it over to Monty is, as Chris says, it's edge-to-edge glass with just about no frame, if you will. We'll talk in regular terms here, but just about no bezel. And it's a modular design where you have the display, but you have your power supply and your connections off board. So it makes it a very interesting proposition where when we ship the product, you get a display and you get the mount and all the connections with your power supply. So it's based on gravity and hydraulics when you have to, our products are great, but maybe once in a while you need to service them. It's a very simple system to do that. And as Chris said, they are available today and they are in stock at Starin. So it's a beautiful image. We have something called SenseX Control, which auto color and resolution calibrates the units, whether it's a new panel or an older panel. And again, we showed this last year at InfoComm, but they are available now. And it seems that customers just can't get their hands on enough of these things because they truly, when you set them up, they're beautiful display and they give you, tremendous resolution and color and brightness.
Yeah, sounds great. One of the biggest advantages to the Unicy, obviously, is the serviceability of it. Once it's up and swapping out the monitors, that's great. I mean, we have a Unicy in our office in Chesterton, and pulling it on, taking it off, putting it on. It makes sense for the quick and no downtime that people are looking for. These video walls, when you do put up video walls outside of like the Unicy, it is a challenge to get them back up and running. I do encourage, I just want to take a break real quick and just say that, I do encourage the audience to provide us questions. And we do have a question here up on the screen. I'll send it out to both of you, and you decide who wants to answer that. And this is in regards to the the XMS analytics. What does Barco do with the analytics that is collected? Do we need to be worried about security of what's getting transmitted to Barco? Now, it's not very specific as if it's the server that is on site or the cloud, but I'll let you guys take a shot at answering that question regarding the data that is collected or the analytics that is collected.
Yeah, good question. So if you've chosen to have all of your ClickShares and the XMS Edge software connected to the cloud, the analytics do report there first. One of the beauties of that is the fact that it is not only giving us a little bit of feedback on just how the systems are used and average uptime, average number of users, which we'll take into account for future product development. There isn't any, like I said earlier, there isn't any content or user names or any of that kind of information shared forward or backward in the systems. All that stuff stays completely, blindfolded to the system. So
awesome.
Other than that, you do have the option that if you don't want to connect it to the cloud, you can. Just the analytics won't be there. So if you still want management services, if you still want to be able to update these remotely, do the firmware updates and the reboots and things like that, that can happen all on site and within network and not have to connect it to the cloud.
Sounds great. So the next question regarding from the audience is what size are the panels, the UniSee panels?
55-inch.
55-inch.
Yes.
Plans to go bigger at some point in the future, or I guess smaller. Nobody goes smaller, do they?
I mean, the thing is that since the mount is an integral part of the entire solution, and all the mounts, right, the way the mounts all attached to the wall, that's really the dictating size.
Yeah.
We'd have to form a whole new mount structure and everything else. The other thing about it to keep in mind is, we're talking 1920 by 1080 resolution on UniSee. We've had a lot of our quotes currently for UniSee projects are options instead of direct view LED, especially in the 1.2 and the 0.9 pixel pitch.
Yes. Because
we're finding that a UniSee wall of the same dimensions, a 4x4, a 6x6, whatever else it is literally, don't hold me to the number, but 25, 30, 35% less expensive for double or triple the resolution, right? If what you need is a large canvas of a lot of pixels, UniSee is the way to do it.
Okay.
Over half of our UniSee installations so far have been control room applications.
Okay. And I have one last question before
lots of pixels, just real quick, lots of pixels, lots of data, very, very thin bezels that don't bother your image. So go ahead.
Jumping back to the Clickshare, there's a question regarding the Clickshare. Does the use of the button app on the laptop require the laptop wireless? Excuse me. Let me start that over. Does the use of the button app on the laptop require that the laptop wirelessly be connected to the receiver? Does this negate the ability to connect to the user's network?
There you go. So I'll take that one real quick.
Sure.
So if you want your own company network accessibility from your laptop and you want to use the Clickshare app at the same time, then the Clickshare base unit needs to be connected to your laptop as well. Okay. If your Clickshare is not on the network, if it's just in standalone mode, which is the way a lot of these have been installed over the years, they've been connected to power and an HDMI cable tucked in behind the monitor, and they walk away from it. If you're using the app in that case, you have to connect to the Wi-Fi signal of the base unit. You probably are not going to have access then to your company network. So that's kind of, for literally every other wireless collaboration solution on the market today, every one of them out there they require connection to a network to work because they don't have a direct connection from a button. So for those of you that are familiar with installing, configuring some of the competing product, putting on a network, IP address, subnet, that kind of stuff, it's the same thing with Clickshare if you're going to use the app.
Okay. And just to verify, because we do have a question sitting in the Q&A, USB-C option in packages or is it going to remain separate? I think we kind of addressed
right now,
that already.
Right now, still, yeah. For the rest of 2019, at least, it's going to be as a separate model number.
And one last question regarding USB-C. Does it have less latency than the standard USB button?
No, latency is still about the same. Our latency level is mostly due to security and encryption protocols that we have. We encrypt that signal before it goes into the button. We have to decrypt it at the base unit before it goes to the display. And because of that, there's an inherent few milliseconds of delay that happens whenever you're encrypting and decrypting to that level.
Sounds good. So let's, real quick on Unicy, go back into the conversation regarding Unicy. Obviously, Unicy is out. 55-inch panel. We got the details and specs from you guys. The mount is the key. Tell us about the trim kit. Right now, we carry the Draper trim kit. And why is it? What's the advantage to having the trim kit? Obviously, it's to hide some of the gears or the work that sticks out the side or the whatever. Tell us about the trim kit. What's the advantage to it? Because we need to talk about it.
Paul, you want me to take it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just, my 2 cents is I think it's really just the finishing, basically, to finish up what the video wall looks like, because on the sides of the mount, we do have some measuring devices that are in the wall itself. So it's really puts a finishing touch on the wall. Monty, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I look at it.
Exactly. So what, like we've been talking about with Unicy, the revolutionary side of Unicy is, one of the revolutionary sides is the fact that the mounting structure itself is different. Instead of having, your typical video wall mounting solutions are you mount a mount directly behind the panel, and then you have to adjust all these panels in X, Y, and Z to match up to each other. With Unicy, what we're doing is we're actually putting a grid on the wall of these little X's to begin with. So these little X's then have an X, Y, and Z configuration in them to where you can adjust them just right. And then once they're done, you're putting the rest of the mount structure up. You're connecting it in 4 corners, essentially. And then you're just hanging the glass on the front of that once you're all done. So those edges and those corners where those X's are do actually protrude, out and away from the edge, just a couple inches. So the trim kit cleans that up.
Yeah. From what I've seen on the Draper, it's also perforated, so it obviously helps aid with ventilation as opposed to being a solid trim, or if it's recessed in the wall, it takes into account that it needs the convection cooling. Yeah. Am I correct in saying that?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Alrighty.
One of the beauties with Unicy is the fact that since the power supply and video input module are actually not integrated into the glass portion, they're off. They're actually mounted to the mount of the unit. So therefore the glass actually stays a lot cooler than if they were inside the front casing of the display.
Awesome.
Hence fanless design.
Yeah,
awesome. So we're kind of running out of time, so I just want to go ahead and get some information out from you guys. I know you guys have an innovation showcase coming up. Can you give us some details on that? That's somewhere near you, I'm assuming, Monty?
Yeah, there's one coming up in Dallas in May. I believe it's May. I have to grab the dates real quick.
May 9th.
Here. There we go. Thank you.
I got the note. It just popped up. So it's May 9th in Dallas.
May 9th in Dallas at the Four Corners Brewery.
Full suite of products are going to be there?
Full suite of products. Our Unicy demo kit is not going to make it to that show, but we will have KVDB there, as well as projection, as well as all the Clickshare models, we present models, and so forth. Will
you guys have the trim kit there too, as well for people that want to take a look at that?
I don't know if we will or not, considering that the Unicy kit is not going to make it. So because that trim kit specific to Unicy, KVDB on the other hand, that video wall option is more of a conventional mounting structure, so conventional trim kits and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just a correction on that, it's actually May 14th and 15th, not the 9th.
There we go. Yeah.
Sorry, wrong note.
No worries. Still
it happens. This is live. This is what happens when you go live.
Right.
So we have an innovation showcase coming up. You guys obviously have the Unicy. You have KVD. what can we expect from Barco coming up at InfoComm?
InfoComm is going to be a lot about, Clickshare, a lot about wireless collaboration. For us, the biggest innovation we have right now in Clickshare is the app, right? The ability to, like I've said in the past, the ability to share your way. We are not relegated to the button anymore. For those folks out there that love the ease, the simplicity, the no training of the button side of sharing, it is not going anywhere. It is still there. But the app just gives those power users that are a little more familiar with the system and don't want to have to worry about being in the right place to grab a button. Man, the app's there for you. So a lot of that's there for sure. Unity will have a big presence at InfoComm. KVDB will as well. And then a lot of projection, right? Something we didn't necessarily talk about here today is that we've got our new G60 line of projectors out. These are wide UXGA, so 1920 by 1200 resolution, laser phosphor, and 7, 8, and 10,000 lumen in very, very attractive price points. Starin has
G-Series will make it. Its G-Series will be there. The UDX will be there.
Yep.
Last question is, will the XDL show up?
Have not heard yet.
That is like that's an interesting product.
Indeed, I know that we show that in Europe at some of our European shows. I have not yet seen it in the U.S., but for any opportunity, I think that we could get a 75,000 lumen projector in a place and actually light it up, I think we would take it as long as we can get power to it.
That's funny. Well, gentlemen, thank you for coming on the town hall. Thank you to the audience that submitted all the questions. There are a lot of questions that were dropped. Where can, real quick, Paul or Monty, real quick, where can our audience find the nitty-gritty information on, for example, like latency on the Clickshare buttons and stuff like that? Where's the best place for them to go look for that with Barco?
There are a lot of our specifications and so forth are already on just the barco.com website for sure. Mm-hmm. There's barco.com/Clickshare for just Clickshare stuff. In addition, for those folks that are on here that are dealers or end users, I recommend to you potentially hopping on barco.com and signing up for a My Barco account. So up in the top corner, you can register to get into My Barco. There's some, once we approve and give you access to it, we give insiders more information than we do outsiders. So therefore, there's certain things in My Barco accounts that you can access, whether that's marketing type gear, additional specifications, white papers, stuff like that.
And Monty, they can always check on the Starin portal.
There you go.
Sure. We're more than happy to provide all the information and get you the latest breaking news. Hey guys, real quick, thank you so much. I have to give away a quick prize. And the winner today is, courtesy of Barco, a $50 Amazon gift card to Mr. Todd Byrne. So congratulations, Todd. Right. Last but not least, everybody remember to visit the Barco booth, number 3400. That was easy for me to say. You only have 46 days until InfoComm, hard to believe. Definitely come visit us at the Starin booth, 3871. And if anyone is following along, Starin Cares, we are raising money to try and help provide a dog for a veteran with PTSD. So please check it out. All donations are appreciated, and every little bit helps us get closer to our goals to help someone in Orlando. So last but not least, if you would like to see a Barco Unity wall with the Draper trim kit live and in person, we are always happy to host you at our headquarters in Indiana. So if you're in northern Indiana and want to come out and visit, we'll be happy to show you a giant, beautiful Barco Unity wall with a Draper trim kit and give you all the details. So you're welcome to that. Guys, thank you very much. Logitech will be next month, May 30th, 1 p.m., same place, same time. Paul, Monty, great to have you on board. Thanks so much for helping us out. This is recorded.
Thank you.
We will send out the recording along with any Q&A that we didn't have time to get to. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris. Great to have you on board. Everybody, have a great day, and we will see you next time.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good day.